Today we are installing a Doorlux enclosure for a Club Car, Onward, and Precedent. We're going to be using a Precedent.
Do it yourself, go car. Do it yourself, go car. Do it yourself, go car. It's the one-stop shop for installing car parts.
These are the tools we'll be using today. Here are the parts included with your kit for the installation. We're going to start this project by installing the rocker mounts. The rocker mounts have 5 channels where we are going to be taping lock nuts to hold them in place. Next, we will mount the rocker mount to the rocker panel. When you mount the rocker mount, be sure that it is flush with the front of the rocker panel. Once you have it in place, go ahead and drill out the 3 mounting points along the rocker mount. Once you have the holes drilled, go ahead and use the supplied hardware to mount the rocker mount in place. Repeat this on the other side. For our next step, we will be installing the headers. Start by removing the stock handles off the sun top. Install the new handles with the supplied hardware from the kit. For the rear bolts, leave the washers and nuts off. These bolts are going to be used to mount the rear header. Once the header is in position, you can install the washers and bolts. For the front headers, you are going to remove the front bolt off of the sun top and replace it with ones from the kit. Next, you are going to slide the front header into the rear header. Then bolt the header into place. Now we will be installing the door posts. The front posts are bare and the rear posts have a hinge connection. Be sure that the forks for all of the posts point toward the back of the cart. We're going to start by using the supplied bolts, washers, and lock nuts and install them loosely. Once you have the hardware installed, we will use the forks of the post to hang the post in place. When you have the post in position, go ahead and tighten the assembly to keep it from falling, but not too tight where we can't position the lower end of the post. With the top secure, move to the bottom of the post and secure the post to the rocker mount. Again, when you are securing the hardware, be sure to keep the assembly loose enough to make adjustments. You're going to repeat this for all of the posts. Next, we are going to be truing up the post. Mount the door frame to the rear post. This will give us a reference point. Next, we are going to clamp the door frame to the header to hold it in the correct orientation. Once it is level, tighten the rear post to keep it locked in place. Next, we will align the front post to be plumb with the door frame. Once it's in position, go ahead and tighten it into place. While we have the frame still exposed, we are going to be installing the Velcro to the headers. Starting with taping the outer back half, we are going to use the thinner Velcro tape and run it from the rear driver's side post to the rear passenger post. Next, Next, starting on the driver's side front header, we are going to run the thin Velcro along the inside of the headers and cut the Velcro when we are obstructed by either a nut or the handles. You will continue this until the whole header has Velcro. We are going to be installing the panels now. Starting with the front panel, we are going to wrap the front zipper around the cart's front upright. Next, we are going to wrap the back of the front panel around the front post and use the small zipper to secure the panel in place. For the back panel, we are going to wrap the front of the panel around the rear post and use the zipper to hold it in place. Then we will Velcro it to the header. For the rear panel, we are going to start on the driver's side of the cart and Velcro it across the back of the header. Once it's in a satisfactory position, we are going to zip the rear panel to the rear side panels. Next, we will cut a strip of Velcro to keep a weather seal around the handle. Next, we will wrap the door panel around the door frame. Line up the hinges with the slots in the door panel. Be sure your door stopper bracket is at the bottom of the panel. Once you have your frame wrapped, install it on the cart. We are going to install the weather seal now. We are going to use the wide Velcro tape and stick it to the weather seal. We are going to be lining the weather seal with the Velcro on the inside of the header, cutting when there are obstructions. To install the doorstop, we are first going to install the ball joint half first. We are going to use the supplied bolts to mount it to the rocker mount. Keep the assembly loose for adjustments. Next, we are going to be placing the socket onto the ball joint. When it is in position, open the door and line the hole of the socket with the door bracket. Once you have it in position, punch through the door panel. With the hole punched, you can now install the socket to the door bracket. Lastly, we will now connect the socket and ball joint by opening the door. When they are connected, you can secure the ball joint's hardware. For our last step, we are going to be installing the door handles. We are going to start by putting the plastic washer on the male handle, then we are going to put another plastic washer on, and finally screw the female handle onto the male. We recommend using some Loctite on this assembly to keep it from ever coming loose. You have now completed the installation of your Doorlux enclosure. If you have purchased the optional club protector, please continue watching. First, we will remove the 2 Torx bolts on the top of the sweater basket. Next, we will line up the holes of the club protector with the holes of the sweater basket and reinstall the Torx bolts. You are now finished with the installation of your club protector.
Don't forget to like and subscribe, and for all your golf car parts and accessories, check out DIYGolfCart.com and make sure to check out our other videos.